Wassail. So I've been isolating in a way for a few days just to be at one with the energies that are there. There is, I've been talking about uploads, and during this process I've begun to understand that every time I come out of the moment, I can sense the calm, and then on top of it, I can sense the panic, the stresses, and this is the fears that are so programmed, they're so part of our thinking that it's really hard for people to just unwind and slow down from that energy, and it will take a little bit longer. But the energy underneath, the calm, is the upload. That's the point. The sun has been filling the earth with emotional masculine energy to prepare us for this calm before the moment of the energy becoming divine. So, and then it's this idea of we are all in our source energy, divine feminine, trying to work out a place in what was a raw masculine energy frequency, and that was creating all these very dark illusions, and that's all changing, but it's a process that's deeply calm and deeply meditative. It's not about shocking now, it's about just everything gently slowing down. So anyway, that's part of what was coming. There's been so much, and I really don't know in what order things are meant to be shown, shared. There's part of me that just thinks this is also another dragging on of my ego, trying to prove some kind of messages. I'm in the paradox of everything being a paradox, and that's, I think, the ultimate part of this process at the moment, is that everything is a paradox so that it can be flipped on its head. That's the whole point of everything. If it was a fixed, absolute truth, it would go nowhere. There would be no direction. Whereas there's always a journey in a paradox. So, and there's space for the paradox to grow. And then there's a point at which the energies just flip, and we're at that point now. We're about to flip to a new frequency. And it's a joyful ride, you know, it's an amazing moment. So let's see what the double Anna Stark deck has to say. What would you like us to know about? Do you want me to ring? Ring. Do you want me to ring the bells? So the message before was me, and now they're stepping forward. So forgive me. I'm gonna let them take over. Really interesting. There was, all the way through ringing that, there was a sense of an impending cliff coming in, and they were saying to me, ring 6, keep ringing, and every time I rang, the bowl tipped a little bit more over and is now leaning, and I actually thought it was going to fall off and crash, but that's the message. This feels, it's the Fool card, it's the new beginning, it's stepping into the unknown. So we're stepping into the unknown. So what would you like to tell us now that you've made me swap decks with the other thing that they were saying I picked up the wrong deck, they want this. So it's because it's about nature. This is about the natural world stepping forwards. We've got a sticky one there, and they want another one. There it is. Ooh. Oh, well. It's transformation. It's a batch. Lovely. So, it begins with fish. Fish is water. Fish is swimming the wrong way in the tides. It's salmon. It's this notion of a fish that goes, it's born in the fresh water. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's born in the fresh water that is divine feminine love. And then it swims and it moves all the way down and it activates special magic and transforms its DNA, and it becomes able to suddenly become a saltwater fish, and off they go into the Atlantic. And then they swim in this world, and then when they decide it's time to reproduce, they do this amazing journey, our souls, us, back up towards source. We're all at the moment, the salmon, swimming up the fresh water to hit source and to completely create not new offspring, but new chapter in our consciousness. We're birthing the child of our new consciousness. And that's this transformation that we're going through with the bat. The other side of the bat, what are we becoming? She-wolf. I mean, this is divine, feminine, earthed energy. And in her supreme connection to everything, she knows the exact pathway through which to lead her pack. The people that matter the most to this wolf are all safe. In fact, everyone's safe because we're all interconnected through the networks that we have. So we're all holding on to, in our oneness, the connectivity to all those around us who we've had interactions with. And then we have bear. This is really divine masculine. So we've got divine feminine and divine masculine, us in a balance point. The bear has got the emotions flowing up of blue truth in terms of the emotional language coming to the truth. Bear is also looking, it's not ashamed, but bear is not looking forwards like the divine feminine, because bears had to live in a whole time frame. This bear was a cub when we were in the Atlantic, and all the errors and all the traumas that we created around each other and for each other, so that we could experience darknesses so that we can see the light when the divine feminine comes in. So bear's not quite healed, and it is that we're not quite healed. We've got healing to do, and that healing is to accept that the adjustment and the balance that the bat's talking about is so just that there is no punishment. This whole notion of karma and trauma, it's all going to be released, every part of it. So, you see, I'm going for the, and they're telling me a different deck again. I'm only gonna start. So, well, we have a little cascade. Let's see what we've got. So we have the broken heart. It's the Three of Swords, the Three of Thoughts, and the Three of Thoughts in this card right at the moment is talking about how to exist in the 3D, this world that we're all in right now. You have to come here with your heart split into two units. and it's reconnecting them as one that creates the movement forwards. It's taking all of the fears out. And the connection to this at the moment is not our connection to each other. Primarily, it's our connection to the planet that has to wake up first. The lower heart chakra that's in our molecules are being stimulated to wake up to the natural world around us. And the natural world around us is going to start behaving beautifully, but it will seem unprecedented, the way in which it's like a march. The energy of the natural world is just below the surface, and it's about to come up. It's almost like spring is going to happen across the whole world, even where it should be autumn and other seasons. There's going to be a kind of, whatever moment a particular place experiences as an awakening point at some point in the year, it's that frequency that's coming everywhere. Then we have the card of the moon, which is hidden information, but here there are two towers at the back. And these represent all that we have built up as our 3D world, and how there's a small tower, observation tower on the top, and it's like we've moved so far away from the natural world that we're all just looking down on it from so far away, almost like we're looking through a telescope backwards. We can't even witness it, and we've got to bring our energies back to the earth. But the difference is that the frequency of the earth has changed and is rising, and that's to do with it's being fed by the sun, emotional frequencies that are going to just start rising up, and at first they're going to seem quite fearful. They're going to play into the fears. They've got to, if they're going to help to transmute them and change them. So there's a lot coming. And then we have the card of the Emperor. And this is really interesting because this is emotional masculine energy. I always call him the gardener or the pruner, because that's what we've now got to do. We've got to prune our lives, prune our connections, prune our expectations that we have of everything, so that we can see past past the locks that are holding us from seeing the truth that's coming up. You will see it eventually. It just depends when you want to let go of the stress and just feel blissfully comfortable. That's the choice at the moment. It's going to happen. The frequency of the world is going to elevate, and nature is going to appear in ways that we haven't seen for a very long time, and that's going to stop everybody. So, what have we got here? We had the first card that I saw as I was saying that nature is coming back. This is the card of the Nikola Tesla 369 magic code for me. This is when the frequency is at its perfect harmonic. It creates a three-sided pyramid, not 4, 3, because it's divine, and it changes the energy. The frequency of everything ripples from this frequency going down and into the earth. It lights up the entire grid. It changes things. This is nature changing things, the truth of nature. And we've got the 8 of Cups, And this is usually a card of walking away from everything. And to a certain extent, we do have to walk away from everything because we've got to embrace this new frequency that's coming in. But in this card, there's a wonderful sense of the green of the natural world, the deep. You know, it's emptying all of our cups at the moment. It's taking everything that we hold and just removing it because it's got new energy to fill. And then we have manifestation card. I'm always saying 110 is the manifestation code for me. So there's a clarity coming that's going to tear down the illusions around everything. Again, it's the sword of truth, but it's green. It's the natural world is the savior here, and it's coming in to just transform everything. It's like bees are coming in from some other dimension slightly, and suddenly there's swarms of them, and there's loads more insects, and plants are pushing out bigger, more resplendent flowers. It's this sense that we've got to, the more of a collective thought process we put on the natural world. I mean, yeah, you can isolate, but we've got to go outside. The whole point of this is to connect with nature. We're connecting with ourselves and with each other, but the important part, the first step is the natural world. We've got to connect with the natural world. And it's almost like we're being hypnotized and still not notice the natural world. You're not going to miss it. It's coming. So just go out and look. Listen, I saw my first hummingbird moth. I was drawn to some Aubritia, and there was a hummingbird moth. I've been longing to see a hummingbird in my dreams. I saw a hummingbird moth with his little tiny pointy nose just poking into each individual flower and then just hovering really, really fast. It was so beautiful, so beautiful. Anyway, and then you've got the Wheel of Fortune is turning. And it's interesting because in my other deck, there's all these ribbons and owls around the Wheel of Fortune. I'm always saying cutting off the things. In this one, it's like the falling of the age of the raw male, the emotional male sitting on the top at the moment, but coming up and pushing the wheel forwards is the monkey, and he represents the divine male, and that's linking in with the Sun Wukong stories as well, because they're really all about fighting inner demons to remove sheaths that are attached to you, and that's part of this journey. So I'm just going to take the little baby version of this deck and just see what clarifies, because I like it. Sometimes you get duplicate cards. Well, that's so many. That's really so many. So, I'm going to do them in the way in which they fell. So, this little pile starts with worry and disappointment. It's the seeing all the emotions for what they really are. So all the disappointments you have, all the fears, all the worries, they're not real. They're just part of a journey, and you can release them now, and you can release the natural world. These are two cards with stars on, and these stars are kind of see-through. They're not fully there because they're not fully there. They're part of the current matrix illusion that we're in, and that's being transformed. Then we have the tower moment, which we're in right now. This is the big change up energy that's flowing. And then we have the 6 of swords and the 7 of wands. The 6 of swords is about science, and it's about moving through the darkness to a new frequency. But actually the energy that's coming from this card is that all the focus of the science is in one place, and there's a whole myriad of other modalities, energies, frequencies, parts of the body, food, there's all these other holistic approaches, and science can only see the body and they're not seeing the energies, okay? And that's part of this tower moment. They have to see that. And then this one of valor is about stepping through a victory, because the 6 wands behind, when they come alone, a victory, this is about rebirth, this one. This is about seeing through the illusions that are there and becoming a brand new energy frequency, all fired up. And then that one came with a repeat of the Wheel of Fortune. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune card twice. So this really is 2020 rolling on. Oh, and then next to next to it, we have 3 cards: Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, and the card of lust and strength. But the Wheel of Fortune has come out in that shuffle with the same. This is really magical, transformative energy. It can't be stopped. It's going to happen. It's just about each person deciding when they want to surrender to the calm and have their cup refilled. And look, this is a really interesting card, and I don't know what the message they want me to say is. This is fighting demons. This is the divine feminine winning over the demons. There's a burst of massive connective thought energy taking place that she holds in her hand. It's like the frequency beacon that she becomes when she tames all of her inner demons. And then it's lust for living, lust for the future. It's lust. I always hated that word lust, because it's a card of strength, but this isn't strength. She's got the strength. I mean, look, she's on top of the beast. The point of the card is that with her cup full of love, she has a brand new place in the world. And then we have the 2 final cards are moving forward and completion. This is the happy home, the 4 of Wands, to be somewhere blissfully perfect. And this is marching forwards. At the moment, we're still. We're waiting for information, the statues. We're being held in a frequency for the completion to take place. So that's the message. It says 1 more of these, and then I'm off. To enjoy the sunshine. Listen, seriously, you've all got to get in the sunshine as much as you can. Just sit in the sun. Try and expose as much skin as you can. The sun is really there to help us. Right, so the overall message is, everybody, dig deep within inside yourself and find your new spark. Find the new thing that kickstarts your passion for life and the future. But go really deep. Dig, swim to the bottom of your ocean and find some new passionate spark within you for a divine future coming towards us. Okay, so that's it. Wassail, it's a beautiful day. Keep happy. and laugh and feel the love and send the love out to the whole world. And really, really importantly, try and imagine the world immediately around you where you live as not being jaded or old. See it all as being new and sparkling, and change the frequency. Outside here, because I'm doing it everywhere I go, it is tidying up things. I know there's less people around, but that's giving a kind of sense of order. They're re-tarmacking in red the promenade, and that will bring a wonderful fresh crispness. I'm not a great one for tarmac, don't get me wrong, but they're all little tiny signs of changes, beautification, energies coming into niceness. I mean, really, I just want to see nature tear through all the tarmac and just stop all cars. That's what I really want to see, because then we really will wake up. We'll say, oh look, I think the natural world said no more petrol pollution, let's just live. Okay, anyway, have a nice day. Wassail.